I'm offering classes coming up on how to expand them and delve into them further. I will share that information over the next bit of time. So if this is your first time here, my name is Jody McDowell. I'm a psychic, energy worker, and a witch in no particular order. So what are psychic abilities? They are commonly known as the clairs, clairsentience, claircognizance, clairvoyance, clairgustiance, clairaudience. And they are extensions of our already five senses, kind of amplified. And I put a poll up on my community tab asking which one people wanted to talk about first, and claircognizance or clear knowing came out first. And I'm going to apologize in advance. Being a natural psychic, I was born with clairsentience and claircognizance, and the two of them just intertwine so tightly. Honestly, to this day, I still have trouble telling them apart because my experience of them is interwoven 100%. So claircognizance is you're getting information that there's no way you could know. My best example is I was doing an aura cleansing on this woman. This was 20 some odd years ago, and I was still very new in my actual learning. And this woman came in for an aura cleanse. She sat down in the chair, she sighed, and she didn't say a word. And as I'm clearing her aura, pulling out all of the garbage that isn't hers, I saw that she'd had a big fight with her young adult son, teen or early 20s, young adult. And I said, "You've had a big fight with your son, and things are going to be okay. It's going to be hard for a little while, but it's going to be okay." There's no way I could know that, but there it was. And she stopped. I think she actually stood up and looked at me. "How did you know that?" I didn't say anything. I said, "Well, it's right here. I can see it." And that is a prime example of claircognizance, just knowing. Clairsentience to me is more the clear feeling. It's that gut instinct, like when you meet someone and you kind of get the heebie-jeebies, they're not right. Clairvoyance is clear sight. That's the second sight. We hear about that all the time. Probably the most common in all of the movies is clairvoyance. And yes, I do have that now. I developed it over time. I have all of them now. I choose not to engage in a couple of them. I don't have clairgustiance. How do we develop these? Number one is trust yourself. Every single one of us has gut instincts. You just know that your kid's calling or it's your mom. You just know something bad is going to happen. Trust those instincts. I'm also going to say jot those things down. Keep a record of it. Or tell other people to help keep track of it so that you can look back and validate that you were right or wrong. And the more you're right, the more you'll trust. Okay, meditation is huge in learning to really develop them and trust them, to hone in on these skills and get them clear and be able to filter and control how much and when. So at one point, I had everything all the way open and the world was overwhelming. When there's no control over what you're seeing, hearing, feeling, sensing, it's hard to function in the world. And I'm not saying it makes you crazy, but it's hard to, when you don't have control. when you don't know how to turn it down or off. And I don't suggest turning it off all the way, but kind of turning a volume knob down so that it's muted for a while, so that you can go out into the world and not be bombarded with other people's stuff. Okay, so every single person and, well, everything on this planet has an energy field. We're all made up of natural elements, and natural elements have energy. And it buzzes around us. And every single emotion, every single event has its own energy too. And it's there. Some of us are more sensitive to seeing, feeling, knowing what's there. And others need to develop that skill. And so when someone like me says that they're doing an intuitive reading, I'm able to look, feel, touch what's in your energy field, even from a distance, and know what's going on, what's coming, what's been in the past. Don't always necessarily get to choose what comes through. Whatever is most prominent in your energy is what's going to come. But that's what that is. So we all have our aura, and it's just buzzing with information and colors and events and feelings, and some of it's ours, some of it's other people's, and other entities. All of that is just right there in the aura. Okay. I want you to trust me for a minute, and I want you to rub your hands together. We're going to make an energy ball here, and feel your hands get nice and warm, and pull your hands apart, and you should feel the energy buzzing between your hands, and play with that energy and let it grow bigger. And if it doesn't feel anymore, close it back out and rub again, and play with that energy. And that's a chi ball, and that is the energy that I'm talking about. So that's what energy workers work with, is this energy. And it is all around us, everywhere in the universe. Every single one of us has access to that. And feel that. Palms are probably a little warm, and you may have to practice a little bit. I did this exercise for the first time in the 5th grade. It was at school, and it was science class. We all went around and we made a circle, and everyone made a chi ball, and we passed the ball around the class. Some people felt it more than others. Yes, I felt it instantly. Other people laughed, and it was hogwash and ignored it. That energy is very real, and that's what that's where all of that information is. Okay, when I talk about meditation, yes, there is a time and a place for quieting your mind, just clear everything, notice the thoughts and let them drift. For me, when I'm doing psychic development and getting ready to work in that psychic space, or bending time, doing energy work, I do a very active meditation where I'm focused on my internal process, the energy running, my chakras, my grounding cords, what energy and colors I'm pulling through, where that's going. And that's the class that I'm going to start teaching. I will set it up, and it'll be available, and have to have a bit of an, excuse me, my dogs are barking at somebody walking by. It takes an active imagination. I will do guided meditation and teach you how to do that on your own. I will make the classes very affordable, very, very reasonable for anyone who wants to take them, at least the beginning levels. And nothing else, being able to calm and be still. And eventually move up until you've built a, like what I would call like a command center up in your third eye, up in your head, that you sit there, and that's where you run things. It's your command center, and you decorate it how it's best for you, and learn to be in that space when you need to calm and center, excuse me, but also how to stop and at any time run that energy, ground, put protection up. Energy work to me is a passion, and that's what being psychic is. It's a form of energy work, and I'm really wanting to share that with you. This video isn't going quite where I thought it was going to, and I apologize for that. I was going to talk more about actual psychic, but I can't talk about one without talking about the other. And slowing down and being present and learning to trust yourself is where being psychic is rooted. And if you can't do that, there's a bombardment and an overwhelm. And I want to say that for those of us who've lived or do live in environments where it's discouraged, where we're laughed at, told that it's not real or shut down, or God's forbid, we're being told that we're devil worshippers, demons, like all of the horrible things that are said, I would say to keep it quiet, keep it inside, jot it down, have a book somewhere where you jot it down. Find safe people, find an environment where it's safe to talk about. I'm sorry that's happening. I shut all of mine down, and it took a long time for me to feel safe to reopen because of that. I was told I was in a cult, and my mental health was challenged and questioned. Just a lot of really nasty things related to my psychic abilities and energy work. Find your community, whether it's online or in person, and learn to trust. Learn to trust what's happening, even if everyone around you says it's not real. God, I'm so sorry about the dogs. People like to stop and talk right outside my front door. Okay, so for today, that is my message. I will be back in a few days, probably next week for sure, with more on energy work. I'm going to be participating in the 13 Nights of Samhain and have a video every day from the 19th through the 31st, all about Samhain and my personal practice. So please come back, like, subscribe, share my videos, and check out my website, which is jody-mcdowell.com. There's no www, just jody-mcdowell.com. And take a look at my classes and booking appointments with me. So have yourself a wonderful day, and thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye.